Oh, hi there. My name is Jake. Welcome to our channel. This is a Photoshoott channel, photography for photography enthusiasts, hobbyists, professionals. And today we want to talk about a subject that's very personal to me. I'd like to discuss pet photography. So there are certain points about pet photography that I hold dear, and I also tell others. People ask me questions, professionals, or just people who enjoy photographing their pets. So I would like to extend that information to the viewers and to the audience of our channel. Why pets, first of all? Well, I love animals in general. Since I was a kid, I used to like postcards, photographs, and I always thought somebody took that picture. I always thought to myself, somebody was there to capture that moment. When I started doing photography about a decade ago, I started doing pet photography and wildlife. And then I switched to professional photography probably about 7.5, 8 years ago when we got our dog. And the dog that you saw on the screen, that's actually a friend's American Bulldog. So those dogs were my initial subjects for pet photography. So without further ado, let me get started on the points I would like to make today. First point, people ask me a question, why and how does the pet does not respond to me? They jump, they run after me, I can take a picture while they're close to me, or they run away, or they hide. What do I do? Well, first and foremost, you should meet and greet, just like you do with people, with kids. And I am sorry I'm comparing kids with pets, but in a way kids don't listen also. But with pets, it's a completely different story. Pets will do what pets like to do. And that's actually the name of this video. Let your pet be a pet. Many times, I'm going to say it many times. Let your pet be a pet. Of course, we're going to talk about portraits and other things, but for now, let's just do meet and greet. So first point, meet and greet a pet, whether it's yours or somebody else's or your friend's pet. They get too excited when you first come into the room. It's that simple. Or they get nervous. Either way, you want the pet to feel comfortable, that now the pet is doing their thing and you're doing yours. So the pet is no longer aware of you, they don't care what you're doing, and that's the first step. Second step, you take out the camera and you start talking to the person who owns the pet. Actually, I call them pet subject because pets are in charge. So we're their subjects. And our dog runs our household pretty much, which is funny, but sometimes true. So find out what the pet likes to do. They like to play with the rope, get the rope. Treats, anything that helps. And that's going to bring me to the topic of let your pet be a pet. You can take a portrait, you want to take portraits, glasses, hats, outfits. I've done it all. I photographed birds. I photographed parrots, bunnies, lizards, turtles, cats, dogs, you name it. I photographed pretty much pets that people can own or like or whatever. And I've done portraits, I've done dress-up portraits, I've done around holidays, any kind of portraits. But my personal preferable favorite is to do pets in their natural environment. And their natural environment is to do what? Run, play, tag a rope, whatever it is, make them feel comfortable. Don't stress the pet out. That's point number 2. Point number 3. What do we use for pet photography? I prefer, and we prefer at Photoshoott, we use longer lenses, telephoto lenses. The pet will run. Of course, if you're doing a portrait, sitting on a chair portrait, which is fine. I mean, if you enjoy it and the pet enjoys it, fine. If that's what people want, your customer want, fine. If it doesn't stress the pet out, do it. But we'll let the pet run, play. What we do, we use telephoto lenses. The shortest I ever used is 200 millimeter. And we try to use actually 400 millimeter. Why? if you have a choice of two photographers, you can position yourselves that no matter which way the pet runs, they will run either towards you or you will get their side. So with two photographers, you have that luxury. But let's say you don't have two photographers, you can still capture good amount of pictures when the pet is playing. Let's say it's a dog. Let's concentrate on dogs because that's what we mostly do. The dog is running, jumping. If you have a longer lens, you can zoom in, you can capture without running back and forth, and you can stabilize yourself and take good pictures. So you'll take more pictures, but you will still end up with a good portion of nice pictures in action with focus and everything else. So we use telephoto lenses. Another part, what settings do we use? A lot of people concentrate on manual. It's a professional way of doing things, and you only do it in manual. Yes and no. For pet photography, I tried both, and I strongly recommend, and I try to recommend it to many others, and they had very successful outcomes. Shutter priority. And I'll tell you why. In shutter priority, I control the shutter, and I try to do it 1/1000 or higher, because I want to capture that moment. Of course, if you want to get some motion blur, intentional motion blur, not just a blur of the camera, you can slow it down. But I like to get nice crisp picture of a pet jumping, running, a dog, a cat, whatever it is, a bird. And I want to make sure it's a nice crisp picture. So I do it 1/1000 at least, sometimes even higher. And I like to make sure that whether the pet is in the shade, runs in and out of the shade, or there's a person with a pet and they're running, they're playing, I don't want to miss a moment when the person or a pet and the ISO doesn't respond or aperture doesn't respond. So the shutter priority for me seems to work the best, and whenever I recommend it to somebody, it works the best for them. So try manual, try that. I mean, leave the comments. If you don't agree with this point, leave the comments. Let me know what you think about this point or any point that I'm making today, and any point in any of our videos, but especially this. This is very dear to me, so I would like to hear your comments and your thoughts. Okay, so now we're shooting a pet and we're doing all kinds of things. Now we have to train the subject of the pet, the person. And sometimes I do it beforehand, but sometimes I have to re-enter that information into their mind and keep telling them and keep reminding them. Some of my pet subjects, as they call them, are clients. But if you have a pet, you're a subject. You're a subject, you love your pet, and they're your life sometimes, and that's fine, that's understandable. I have to train them to understand what they have to do to help me so I can help them. So what I like to do, what we like to do at Photoshoott, me and my partner, Vitaly, by the way, what we tell our clients is stand behind the photographer. Because with kids, but especially with pets, if you call a pet and point at me, where do you think the pet is going to look? I could demonstrate it with any pet, and most likely they will look at you, not the photographer, because you're calling them. And I stress it many times with kids and pets, and people tend to forget that, and they always call their pet and point at me. It doesn't work. So what I like to do is for people to stand behind the photographer, leave your pet, run to the side, don't run towards the camera, or stand behind the photographer. If you can set the pet, if it's a pet that listens to you, set the pet, call them, they will run, we'll get pictures. And of course, don't stress the pet out. We had some pets, dogs, especially dogs. We had a dog that I was photographing, and we got the dog jumping in the pool. It was a very big Labrador, black Labrador, beautiful pictures, and I asked how many takes can I do, and they said as many as you want. The dog loves it, and that was good. The dog loves the water, loves jumping, great. But if the dog hates what you're doing and you're stressing them out, you're going to end up with a very sad pictures. And I've seen sad pictures of pets. Yes, pets do smile in our pictures sometimes, most of the time. We at least like to think so. So we want to make sure the pet is not stressed out. Okay? So, all those points in consideration. Now the last part, and we do post-production. And I will show you that part on one of our pictures. And we have our own Adobe Photoshop Gizmo panel, which is a plugin. We have a free version and a paid version. And I will show you how I use that tool and to show you on one of our pictures. So follow me. Thank you for watching, everybody. I really appreciate your time. I know your time is valuable. So thanks for coming to our channel. Once again, leave comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have any questions, any thoughts, if you disagree or agree with what we're saying. And please subscribe to our channel, like this video, and hit the notification bell so you're notified when we put out new content. We will put out videos like this, information videos, videos of our photo shoots, and videos about our plugin. So please come back and enjoy the show, and we look forward to seeing you. Have a great afternoon or evening or wherever you are. Take care.